In this video, you're going to learn the step-by-step framework that helped me make my debut for a professional club. This isn't going to be a BS video for views or subscribers. I will show you exactly what I did. Step 1, we need to start out by learning the fundamentals. Most people think as they get older, they're going to magically improve at dribbling and their passing, but the truth is, 1, you won't, and 2, why would we wait when we can fast track our progress? I began grinding this at 14, but I wish I started earlier. You need to understand why we must focus on this, because those who don't, they either end up in Sunday league as an average player, or they quit the sport. Imagine from a young age, you focus on the fundamentals. You're gonna look like a diamond in the dirt. And imagine in your league, if you're dribbling past the best players, playing that killer pass every time. Trust me, if you listen to what I say and get to this point, scouts will literally come begging for you. So what I want you to do is start off by doing 2 individual training sessions a week, focusing on your technical ability. This is the easiest way to stand out at a youth level, and as you get older, it guarantees there are no gaps in your game. By the way, you could easily not do this, because I know how it is. You come home from school, you're tired, and you can just easily get into bed and scroll on TikTok until your dinner's ready. But I'm just telling you that if you don't do this, someone else will, and you'll fall behind in the world of football. Imagine it's a global leaderboard, and every time you do extra training, you slowly climb up the ranks. Well, that's all I'll say of motivation, because I know that you'll train if you want it bad enough. By the way, the technical training is probably the most important part of this video, because it's the main reason I was able to go from Sunday league to making my debut for a professional club. And it's been exactly what I've been teaching my students inside the technical masterclass. They've been learning the fundamentals from the ground up, then slowly making it progressively harder until they can get to the point where they can do it in a real game scenario. One of my students, Sherlock, started working with me a couple weeks ago, following the exact same sessions that I gave him, and he really started seeing the benefits of it, and in fact, he got scouted and it will now be going on trial with Brighton in February. I bring up Sherlock because he saw these results so quickly, which, to be honest with you, is pretty standard, and there are other players, as you can see, like Adam, Mohammed, Matthew, and hundreds of other ballers who have already experienced the same thing. This shows you the power of structured technical training. I've shown you some of the drills included already, however, it's quite a difficult thing for me to explain the full training process in such a short amount of time, and to be honest, it's something I only reserve for my students anyway. I've put a link to the masterclass in the description, so I strongly suggest that you check it out if you're actually serious about your football. As well as this, I'm going to be shutting down the program at 300 students. The reason for this is so I can solely focus on their development. With all that being said, back to the training. Now you have the fundamentals on point, we need to stand out in other ways, because obviously technical is the biggest factor into standing out at a youth level or a young age, but let me be truly honest with you. Mastering your technical ability only makes you the king of a bad level. Everyone at the top, and I mean everyone, has this on point. Now we're in the big leagues, here's what you need to do. You need to stand out in your position. This will truly get you noticed because you're delivering what is required in your position. So it's all well and good being good at shooting if you're a defender. You need to work on the things that will actually show up week in, week out at that level. So you need to work on your position specifics, which means as a fullback, you should be working on your 1v1 defending and your crossing. Honestly, you should know what you need to work on for your position, and if you don't, I'm semi-concerned about this, but it's very, very easy fix. All you need to do, just ask your coach, speak to your coach, your parents. They will understand what is required of your position, and it will set you out on the right foot. And for this, once you've mastered your technical, you should be doing this at least 1 to 2 times per week in order to stand out, and that is a bare minimum. Now it's all well and good being able to dribble through multiple players or have the best shooting, but if you can't sustain your abilities for 90 minutes, it's completely pointless. Most people are genuinely good players for the first 5 minutes of a game, but after that, they start to feel lethargic and they constantly lose the ball. And let me be honest with you, this was me a few years ago. I'd grinded out my technical ability in my 1v1s, but after the first 5 minutes of a game, I literally couldn't move. Like, I just kept losing the ball over and over again because I trained my abilities really well, but I hadn't trained to sustain these abilities. If you're watching this during the season, then I need you to be doing fitness drills after your own individual training sessions. This will guarantee that you'll become the fittest player in your team because you're basically training your legs to sustain for a longer period of time. Whatever drill you do, make sure it's intense and make sure you have minimal rest time, because after all, football's a sport where we're constantly running, so don't be doing any of this 5-minute rest time type of thing. Also, doing drills before your individual training sessions is absolutely amazing, because you'll notice how difficult it is to actually perform at a decent level when your legs are absolutely knackered. This will help you endure the pain of being able to sustain it in a real game scenario. So fitness training at least twice a week if you're not already the fittest player in your team. So I've pretty much given you a list of things that you need to be doing on top of team training in order to see unbelievable results and rapid improvements. But the truth is, if you want to work harder, you also have to recover in a way that eliminates the chance of stress injuries. You see, when we're doing constant extra training, your body is going to be a lot sorer, and it needs to recover in a way that can allow you to continue training at a big intensity and also doing a lot of it. So your recovery is super important, and I need you to follow this exact routine. So as soon as you finish a game, ice bath 5 to 10 minutes. Then after that, I want you to do some light stretching on any areas that feel tight. This needs to be followed up with 9 hours sleep. Any less and you're just putting yourself in a position where you could not be recovering right overnight, and your muscles could not be growing back as well as they can. And as well as this, the day after, I want you to do some form of very, very, very light cardio. And I don't mean anything intense, I literally mean 10 minutes on the bike or going for a long walk. And this will basically help you remove lactic acid and get your legs used to moving again. This is exactly how the pros recover, and I'm warning you, if you don't recover like this, you're putting yourself in a position when you're more likely to get injured, which is exactly what we don't want. So please take this advice seriously and make this your permanent routine. If you've got this far, it's clear that you want something to change in your football career, and I hope you take the initiative and follow these steps. Because if you implement this, you will dramatically improve in literally just a couple weeks. And to be honest with you, football is a game of small margins and tiny percentages. That is what makes the difference. I know there's a lot of rubbish out there, and the routines and drills that you need are not necessarily easy to find. That's why I've created this whole program that gives you a step-by-step, session-by-session, in-depth guide on how you can actually improve at a faster rate than all the competition. It's now helped over 230 footballers who are once just like you. They wanted to make the change in their football career, and they did. So I'll put a couple more screenshots up of the community and the results people are seeing in literally just a couple weeks. If this sounds interesting to you, I've left a link in the description below where you can go and get it right now. On top of the fitness guides and the technical guides, there's loads of brand new modules coming soon. And as well as this, you get access to me one-on-one personally, and access to a community full of 230 other footballers all trying to improve. If you're serious about making a change to your game and proving yourself to your friends and parents, I strongly suggest you get the program right now before the program shuts down at 300 students. I want to cap it to make sure that my students get the best results possible, and I can give them my one-to-one undivided attention. As well as this, we're just about to start weekly calls, so if you're quick enough, you might catch me on the first one. Like always, well done for taking the time and being disciplined enough to watch all the way to the end, and I'll see you in the next one.